Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Let's see if we got the stream going. Excellent connection has showed up. So welcome to you all. I see some faces already. Cool. So, welcome. My name's John Lemcool. How's my hair today? Feeling like I have sleepy hair still, but that's cool. Who cares when you have syncing LFOs and Unify's Guru Sampler? So welcome. Good to see you all. I see lots of happy faces. If you downloaded the Spitfire Labs library already, download it again if you want. I added some additional patches at the very last minute. There were 7 patches by an author, Bram Vandermark. He sent them to me and I had forgotten to put them in, and they're really, really good. And so I'll show you those. But my name's John Lemcool. Hands together, head bowed. We have some really cool stuff to show you because this has been a very productive week. We have in this patch that you're looking at, which is one of the new patches that will come with the update. We have, well, MIDI box isn't playing in this part up here, so I can actually get rid of that because I didn't need that. But we have Blue ARP, we've got MIDI box playing drum grooves inside of Unify's combo box, doing things. All of it is synchronized. And then on top of that, inside of Guru Sampler, look at this. We now have a syncing LFO that can do some really, really nice things. So I can open up, change the curve. It's not happening right now, but I've asked Shane to make it so we can do stuff like this with a mod wheel, where it will change the curve as a modulation source. So that's, so you'll be able to do that. In the future, this is all going to become dynamic and all that kind of stuff, and we'll have, I can't even tell you what we're doing, but this is just, we're building a house, right? And we keep adding additional siding, and now we're working on a new floor and enhancing an existing floor to have, you know, now it's got a better stove. I don't know what you want to call it, but we have some really cool things. Good to see you guys. My gosh, so many people here already. So cool. So I'll give you a formal introduction of this. There's other things I want to go over that are in 1.4. We were going to release it this week, and I'm sorry we didn't. But I'm not sorry, because on Monday, Shane, I love it when I get one of these Skype messages that go, hey, want to see something cool? I always know there's going to be something like, okay, what did you do? And he had an LFO in Guru Sampler that was syncing. And I thought, that's cool. And I kind of maybe mentioned, you know, one of these days we'll have it so we have the graph, for the grid for, you know, Pump House. Tuesday morning, hey, want to see something cool? And he had it working with this. And so implemented, and then I asked for a one-shot mode, and we did more work, and I was like, oh, we don't have an ampulation modulation, for amp ampulation. We don't have amp modulation. And so now we have amp modulation. So we've added phase, we've got all sorts of stuff going on. So I'll give you a tour of that. There's some other cool examples of stuff coming in 1.4 I can show you. I can show you some of the patches I'm working on. Also, as some of you guys have seen, the Spitfire Labs library has been enhanced. There is now 115 plus Z patches made by all sorts of Guru Nation. All of you that contributed, thank you. It's really cool to see many different takes on what to do. There's all these great pads, and all the key stuff is just great. And Some really creative things in here. I will show you those. I also want to point out that at the last minute this morning, I was able to get Mega Magic Dreams for Contact out. It's available. So if you own Mega Magic Dreams for Contact, you can log into the Plugin Guru website and you'll now see Mega Magic Dreams Volume 1 K5-Unify.zip. And you can download that and you will have unified all 160 patches for Mega Magic Dreams, which is really, really cool to have inside of Unify. And these bonus patches are different than the bonus patches that come inside of Omnisphere because we have different parameters to work with. So these came out really cool. I will show you that. We'll go through that. If you want, you can go to the website pluginguru.com. That's my website. We sponsor our videos, of course. And I haven't updated the artwork yet because it's it's a lot to do and I haven't gotten there. But if you go to the website, whatever is on sale, if you click this, it takes you to a page called Current Promotions. And things that are free, ModMate, Show MIDI, which you see on the interface right here for me to play and it shows you what's going on. Those are available. Uniscream, our free library for Unify is free and available. Repro Power Pack is on sale. What did I do? I got the about. Mega Magic Dreams for Omnisphere 2 is on sale. I'm gonna maybe make the bundle. I should make the bundle. Let me see if I got the bundle here. Oh, what are you doing? Oh, it's gonna say something weird because I'm logging in weird. Let me see if I can do this. If I say, oh, I have to figure out what the price would be for the two. So it's 99. Let's see. No, that's not right. It should be, let's say like I did for the bundle for, oh, okay. Sorry, 1 second. Let me figure this out. So I want to have the bundle available as well. So, it should be $59 for the bundle. If you want to get both the Omnisphere and the Omnisphere version, did it update? Yeah, it did. Okay, so those are updated. The actual Mega Magic Dreams for, and I should, let's see, is it on the, let me tell it to show up here in current promotions so that if I go over here and reload this, no, it doesn't show up. Oh, well, it will. I don't know why it's not. Mega Magic Dreams Wave 05 bundle. Anyway, it will be, if not, it will be right after the live stream. I will have it so that you can get the, oh, you know what it is? It's probably, hold on. The joy of live streams. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Melanie, you're funny. Let's see, log out. Let me just get this set. I'm sorry for doing this, but people see the live stream and they immediately jump on stuff. I know for a fact. So I have to get things set or else it just, doesn't work. So, but I want to have all the Mega Magic Dreams available in Omnisphere 2 or the Contact or the bundle are all on sale. I want to just go, wait. Let's go here. Yeah. All right. I'm sorry for doing this live on this like this, but oh, what's going on? You can post links to cases. Can you post a link to the, isn't this part of the Discover Station? Yes, it's included with Discover Station to download that zip file, and it has the K6 SE station included. I know that for a fact. So yes, that is included. Should be there. If it's not, let me know. I mean, there's people using it and working with it and told me they've been working with it, so I know it's there. Let's see. Yeah, everything's just kind of all of a sudden like slowed down for a second. So I'm sorry for having to slow down for a second. I just need to make sure I get this set right. So go over here. Here. I'm editing on my website as we speak so that I can get this set up. Mega Magic Dreams Wave K5 bundle. Let's go over here. I'll take it a minute to load. While it's doing that, here, let's have fun. So let me init this and call up Guru Sampler. And look at that nice LFO in the middle of the screen. Let me go like this, and I'm going to actually zoom this to be bigger so you really get to see what we're working on instead of having to squint. There we go. So look at that beautiful area. And there's so much cool stuff to show you about this. So, okay, go here, go there. It's still being weird, but I can go like this. All right, so check this out. So here is your waveform select, and whatever you choose here, the waveform will update to show you. When you get to sample and hold, we have, hold on a second. That's Shane saying now. Oh, item has been deleted. Oh, I need to update that. You're right. Sorry. Okay, so edit this. Oh my gosh, you guys. I'm sorry. So let's see. Go to here, here. Doing all this in real time. I love it. I love it. That's why we're here. There. Paste. Save. Why won't it let me save? Save. There we go. Does the 1.4 have additional patches? Yes, there will be additional patches included. I'll show you some of those. I'm working on some of those through this week as well. So when you get to the type of waveforms that are calculated, we now just say waveform and random. When you get to custom, it goes to color green for the waveform shape so you know it's available to edit. All the other waveform shapes are white. If you click up here, they don't do anything. So, but if you set it to say saw down, turn on our filter. Here we go. So first, we have our clock settings here, and you notice that we separated them out. So if you want just straight notes, you don't have the triplets in the way. You don't have that for dealing with things. And it's easy to assign this to a modulation knob, of course. Right? And you have filter cutoff, you have pitch, and it's bipolar. Unless you set this to just unipolar. It just goes in one direction, meaning if it's negative, it only goes to 0 instead of going to positive. Whereas if it's bipolar, it'll go the whole range. Pitch. Up to 4 octaves, and it's accurate. So if you say 12, then it's an octave, which means you can go like octave and triangle. So all these things where you want to have like a slow envelope and you have resonance. Well, it's really loud, so. And set to be a higher filter. So you can do all that kind of stuff. This is why we have a gain on the filter. Right? So you can do that kind of thing. And you also have amp. So all of these are working. And if I have it set to where I have, let's say from the standard library, just to give us a clock to play to, kick for on the floor. So we're synced. And we have phase, which means I could set this to the left side. I could say duplicate, put this to the right side, and go over here and set this to phase of 50, so it's divided equally. So we can do things like that, which is really fun. The phase lets you change where at in the waveform shape it's going to start, of course. When it's set to hertz, it's free running. So it doesn't care about when you play notes, how you play notes. So you could do French synth sounds, you know. Right? So it can be independent. And it goes fast. Which is nice. And then you have one shot mode, which is really cool. So let's mute our kick for the moment. Let's go over here. Now, what one shot is good for is for pitchy G's. Now, what's really cool, well, let's start with this. So first, here's pitch, just, right? Set to one shot, it's just gonna play once. And it could be with any sample, so we could go down here to something like Mega Magic Dreams, go to Battleborn. Oh wait, no, Mega Magic Pads has Battleborn. That's our nice, really bright. Right? So you can do. Now, when you change it from the preset settings to custom, it goes green. Check this out. Are you ready? Click. And you have an editor with a graph. Now, it's a mono LFO. It doesn't retrigger per voice. So it has a cool personality to it, the way it works. Oh, I need to zoom out. Okay, thank you for telling me. OBS. Oh, yeah. So let's go zoom out. There you go. So now when we show the display, almost enough. See, zoom out. Hello. Oh, I'm clicking in the wrong place. Zoom in a little bit more. There we go. So when we get back to Guru Sampler and we go to the shape, you can click and drag. Double click to add additional segments. It is fast. It is. And if you set your rate to be slow, then this becomes a pitchy G. So you could, you know, right? Until it's playing so fast, it's the blip. Very cool. On top of this, what's really fun is when you start doing things like, check this out. We now have a preset button. And this is the same for also the preset for curves in velocity. For Pump House, when you click, it's now a list of presets with nested folders. Yay! Yay! So we could go to sidechain presets or rhythmic pulses and say sequence silk and let's say clock to 8th note. Set it so it's not one shot, and now we're back to being able to play. So if we put this with kick, so we can do all these kind of cool rhythmic things. It just opens up all sorts of doors. If you go to the what's called the, where is it? The numbered preset pulses, check out how fast this can go. If you say 64 steps down, this is a little nuts, but it can do some rather interesting, you're gonna get into self-oscillation. It's just playing so incredibly fast. So it's super fun. All this crazy I mean, it like sounds like it's gonna blow up. But that's because resonance is really high. Oh, I think I blew it. Okay, not quite so. Oh, let me reset because I seem to have pushed it a little bit too weird. We're still in beta. We've got a little bit more of a week left. We'll keep testing all the pushing we can do to it. But with this available, let me show you some of the patches I have done using this. Of course, things like this kind of stuff it now can do in its sleep. And you could go to other libraries, which I don't have a lot of, but we could go like this. Go to BPM. Let's see. Toybox Laboratory. Load this. It's all synced. Let's go to the drums. Here's 8 drum grooves using the drum kit that comes with Spitfire Labs. I could go to other libraries that have BPM things. I need to get some more libraries in here. Let's do this. So we'll go Reveal in Finder. This is the technique that I use with the libraries because there's so many libraries. At the very top Plugin Guru folder, that's where you'll find the Unify folder. And I have a couple different folders for things that are works in progress. Temporary is all the libraries that are done or almost done. That will be coming out. In fact, I need to get, let's see, I want to show you guys UniChill today, because that is coming very soon. Let's get Omnipulse from Omnisphere. I want to get Cloud City, because I always like to have Cloud City, and Airwave Melodic Techno, because those are just staples you gotta have. We could have Chorus Station, Discover Station. Here's K6 SE Station. Those are all included in that one library when you get Discover Station. Let's see, what else should we add? Well, from the Unified libraries, look at all the Unified libraries. This last week, Repro 1.5 came out. So we could get Repro 5, Zebra 2. Maybe we want some piano from Noir. Yeah, so all I do is, these are in this folder, and then I drag these over to my libraries folder. So then all I have to do is hit the little lightning bolt. It will do a quick scan, go, oh, I wanted to add a couple more libraries. I wanted Bells and Winds, because I want to show that since that's on sale for a minute. Contact, and I should point out Del Norte is also available here. So let's see here, scroll down. Libraries. So we've, just by doing that, and it'll take it a minute because it's adding literally a couple thousand patches to what I have access to in Unify. What are you guys talking about? Well, you can say awesome Skippy, but remember, it's Shane that is the man. He's the one that says, is this the Mac Explorer? I'm on a Mac, so everything you're seeing is Mac based here. Just looking to see what you guys are talking about. Can any of this be automated? Yes. If you go to the knobs, notice we can do this even while it's scanning the database. If you go to the link parameters page of a Guru sampler, which is instrument 1, you'll notice we have access to everything from the waveform. In fact, I have some cool stuff to show you about rate, because we have two different, it's crazy how we did this, because we want to have the rate be free, and this is how we figured out to do this. So check this out. This is really fun. So if I hold down Option and click Init, it's going to get rid of this auxiliary bus and these other two layers. I could hold down Option and click here to delete them one at a time, but we set this up for the things and the tricks you can do when you're using Polybox. I wanted a quick way to get back just to layer 1 by itself. And so layer 1 is going to stay the way it is, which is the pulse patch. Hold down Init or Alt, or hold down Option or Init, and one more time. Hold down Option or Alt and click Init. Boom. And it keeps everything in the auxiliaries, but it gets rid of the instruments. So now it's just back to, I first want to show you a couple of things. Check this out. If you change the waveform to custom, this is this default's supposed to be the saw down is supposed to be the default. And as you see, we have calculated envelopes at the top. So if you say saw down, you have, and then you can click here and listen. Let me make sure this is loud enough. Okay, it's loud enough. Listen to how nice this is to change the shape of the, you know how every synthesizer has a saw pulse down. So it sounds basically like this, but it's so nice to get all these variations. Just by changing the curve. I mean, that's really impressive to me. So it's not like we just have, I mean, And because it's bipolar, it's going all the way negative. If I want, I could set this to unipolar, so it's going to stop wherever I set my cutoff. So, right? Whereas if I go to bipolar, it goes both positive, which takes the whole range of +1, and adds -1. So you just find a range that's not so extreme. So first of all, check this out. We have custom shapes, so we can go saw down or saw up. When I go back to custom, it still remembered that. And you can assign this to a knob. So you can go from a regular shape to a custom shape in a patch. It will save both, which is really fun for in live to do cool tricks. Also, notes versus hertz. It's 2 different rates. Because we wanted them to, the way that they're calculated, I wanted it to be, we have rates that go all the way to 1-1, 2-1. You rarely see this, but I wanted 3-1 for the people that want to have something cycling on a 3, 4-1, and then 8-1. So up to 8 measure cycles. And because of that, what happened is that hertz, which is free running, it would get to be really fast right here while you were still at notes, right? And I wanted it to be so that this could be close to the rate between the two. And so the way that we did that is to make it actually 2 different LFOs. What makes that cool is when you go to the modulation list, you have 2 different rates that you can actually assign and modulate in real time. These are all available. So you have waveform, variation, you have what's called this, where is it, sync mode. That's where you change it between hertz to the timing modes. You have whether to turn it on and off from one shot. You have pitch, cutoff, and amplitude depth. So you have all of those available as modulation sources to play with over here on the knobs. So it's a Unify is not contained. Okay, so those of you that are having a problem getting a plugin to operate, I see someone talking about Labs to operate. It's because you're not using the VST2 version of Labs. So the way to fix that is to go over here to the plugin that says known plugins, scroll down the list until you get to Labs. I think it just says Labs. Okay, Labs. And you see, I have the VST and the VST3 because somebody sent patches in the VST3 format to the library and we had to convert them. I'm going to remove from the plugin list the VST3. You only want the VST2 version to be available. I think you can do where you have VST2 and 3 showing and it will, but the problem is when you get to Labs, you're only seeing VST3 or you're only seeing audio unit. It has to be the VST2. The way to solve that is to go to Operations, select Plugins to scan. You need to know where your VST folder, and on the PC, it's challenging. This is where you want to run the Spitfire audio app. It's going to probably pop up here. I'm going to pop over here so I don't accidentally show you something you shouldn't see. It's updating. Thanks. Install and restart. Okay. I guess I have to do. I don't like when applications do this, where you run them. I wish there could be an option that you could turn on and off, whether it, maybe there is. Maybe I haven't set it up right. But anyway, what you want to do is you go to your settings page. I don't want it to show my account information. It's got my ID in the top corner, but there's an option on the left. I think I can get to where you can see it like this. See where it says VST2 installation, VST3 installation. You need to click the VST installation and it will tell you where they are on your computer. So that way you know where to navigate in this finder. For me, I know it's VST2, and then I can type in labs and there it is, and say open. And now, just like that, boom, you have opened up the magic mana. So now when you click a patch, it will load it and play without an error, okay? So you have to use the VST2 version if that is available. That's what we prefer to use. The only time we use VST3 is if there is not a VST2 version, which happens sometimes. Some companies, if you're a new software developer right now, Steinberg doesn't give out VST2 licenses anymore. They want you to just do VST3. So like Plasmonic is only VST3. So our library for Plasmonic in the unified libraries is for the VST version. But all of these that you see for Contact 6, for Omnisphere 2, for Zebra, Repro, any of these, you have to use the VST2 version of that plugin for it to work, okay? So that's how you can tell. Sometimes the VST2 version of a plugin will be in a weird folder that, especially on the PC, on the Mac it doesn't happen because there's only 2 places you can put files for plugins, you know? Right. So someone's saying PC, it's basically 2 paths: programs, VST plugins, or programs / Steinberg / VST plugins, because Steinberg, they're the ones that made the VST format originally, right? Right. Yeah. It does happen where they do this like stuff as far as to what format you can use and stuff. So anyway, so the LFO is super cool. I'm so excited to have and for all of you to have. I mean, yeah, it's cool for me because I've wanted this for a long time. I mean, I've made all these rhythmic libraries for Omnisphere and stuff, and so we now have the... Oh, that's right. So when you're doing the pitchy G, the hertz controls the speed. In fact, I think I have knobs for this. Pitchy G rate. And depth. Oh, another thing that we have that's really cool. Check this out. Oh, the shape got lost. Okay, because we've been doing some beta fixes and so forth, so things will change. Let's say we go saw down. I have something cool to show you here. So let's say saw down. Now, pitchy G's have to stop at the middle, or else it's going to be, you know. Right? And it's so challenging. Here, let's get both of these up so we can do both of these together. This should be also saw down. There. But Shane incorporated something very useful. If you hold down Shift, it now snaps to grid, so that anywhere that you place one of these, you know, of course, the next step is a future update. We will add more grid type parameters and presets so that you can have 12 steps for 12 pitches. But what this means is that getting to having this be on 0, it doesn't show you any value here. Hold down Shift and it's now snapped to grid. So when you get close to that point, it will snap. And that way I can make sure both of these on the pitchy G are at 0. Right? Awesome. All right, so now we can close these. I've got parameters assigned to the LFO rate for the 2 layers and for the pitch LFO pitch depth, so I can control from slow to super beautiful. So it's It's so, hey, we should do a shout out. Shout out to Shane. It's time. The dude has worked his tail off this week to do some awesome things. Shout out to Shane. Also, check this out. All these wonderful, cool enhancements that we are doing also happen to have made their way into audio effects like Pump House. So if you go to Pump House, it has the really cool same preset pull down window. So you can choose presets this way instead of having to open up a navigating window. So you can go down here and say, I want side chain, and here they are. And I don't have it in the right place, do I? Yeah, I put on the auxiliary bus. Silly me. So if I go over here, check this out. So if we go Pump House, here's another cool thing Shane did this week. So if we go to Pump House here, right click and say copy that darn curve. You can save just the curve shape this way if you want. I can now option click to go away. Open up this Pump House, open this, click, and say paste. And there you go. So now you can have a side chain pump. Now, if I wanted to, and I was a sick puppy, which some have claimed I am, we could go to Guru Sampler. And let's put this to clock. Open this up, right click, and say paste that same curve shape. And make it cycle. Boom. You can copy and paste the curve shapes between all the, if I wanted my velocity to be, I could say paste and it will paste the shape for velocity. So the velocity of my keyboard's all messed up now, so I won't do that. But that same curve window is able to be used everywhere. Herbie, my brother, good to see you. I've been playing, I found my remix that I did like 15 years ago for Maiden Voyage. I'm gonna email you so you can hear it. And I've been playing it in my head, and I actually have thoughts of other places. Such an incredible song, dude. Anyway, so all these fun things. And then I have some more insane things. Are you ready to see something really insane? There's this guy named Janton. I can't remember his last name. Let me see. Where's his? Did he put his name in any of these? He's a brilliant. Yeah, he just has Janton. So I don't know his last name. I need to find that out, and I'll share it when we have our stuff going. But Janton is this developer, and he's a wonderfully nice guy, and we've had some really great conversations. We've helped him a little bit with his coding and Mac stuff. Shane and them are good friends at this point. Anyway, he has given us permission for 2 of his effects to be included in the next update of Unify. So the Chow tape model, the dude used physical modeling, calculation stuff, and there's papers on his website. I should show you his website. You check this guy out, because you can download these plugins right now if you want to play with them. They're coming later this week. chowdsp.com, I believe. You can download these plugins and use them in your existing productions. He has Centaur, which is a distortion model based on a very specific type of a distortion effect. Research is where he has all this stuff and algorithms and stable nonlinear filters and neural networking interface. Brilliant guy. He works at Stanford. He went to school and got his PhD at Stanford. Super smart person. And he's not sure what he's going to do, whether he's going to sell plugins. Everything he's made so far is for free. So you can go to his plugins that he has here. And Chow Tape Model is here. Chow Matrix is the other one I'm going to show you in a minute. And this is nuts. You will not believe this is coming. It's really cool. And Centaur is the distortion that I told you about. So you can go check those out. You can download those now if you want. Yeah, oh, here we go. Chanton Chowd Hurry. There you go. Chowd Hurry is his last name. That's why it's Chow so-and-so, right? Well, check this out. So let's call up something really boring. Let's go to Groove Sampler. How's that for boring? Okay, we're gonna add matrix. It's a delay effect. And this is coming in 1.4. This is another thing that I'm using for some of the libraries. It will be in the new UniChill library that I'm working on. But the idea is this. It starts with 2 taps. And you can click to the left and the right. You can hit sync down here. So that way it's now synced to be like, say, an 8th note or a quarter note. Let's say a quarter note and an 8th note, so we keep it in a timing value. Now, if you click on one of these guys, hold down Shift and click, you've just added another delayed tap on top of the other one. Click again, click again. I now have 4. Each delay tap has low pass, high pass filters, pitch, so you can like put these to weird pitch settings and check this out. Distortion, there's set some different frequencies for the delay, put on actual like this is for the beautiful detuning effects and stuff. Now this is weird right now. I'm going to show you how it gets really pretty in a minute, but it's delays. So now you can go over here to the feedback, bring this up for each of these. And because I added modulation, see how it's wiggling a little? Let's go over here. He needs to have some tree growth as well. So we'll go like this. You can go to 1 and just keep adding to that one, and to the right means it's going to be pan to the right, to the left means it's going to be pan to the left, right? So now I have, right? Well, it's on its own. Then there's the insanity slider. If this is not insane enough, picture a breeze that becomes a hurricane level wind that is blowing our little delay taps around. And so there's the wind. Until it's a hurricane. And then you can bring this down a little bit and keep it dry up. So let me show you some examples. Here's Lush, where there's a whole bunch. Now bring up Insanity just a little bit. Wow! Isn't that awesome? And we can pan this one to the left. And let's pan number 8. Or number, what is it? 1, 2, 3 to the right. Oh, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So number 8 to the right. Now you have this like delay network that's all modulated and being beautiful. Isn't that beautiful? And instead of a simple, boring sawtooth waveform, if you go and you add like a pad or something like this, here's without it. There's with it. Just beautiful stuff. And look at how they're all dancing. If you bring this up more, it's a little more not so stable. If you put this on drums, it's super cool. But look at how they're dancing. I love this. So I've asked him, it's not in this first version, but one thing that's a little bit of a problem is that it'd be cool to start with a certain preset and be able to bring Insanity back down, and it would go back to the preset you started with. It doesn't do that right now. Right now, see the values. If I change this to be randomized, when I bring it back to Insanity, boom, they are frozen wherever I stopped Insanity. They don't go back. So he's gonna add like a little lock or something here so that you can lock the Insanity, so as you bring it out, it goes crazy and weird. If you bring it back to center, to 0, it will go back to being a timed delay, because he has some things like if we go over here and we say, give us a drum kit from bonus, drum kit is here. So you can hear what it's doing with drums. It'd be a little bit more beefed up. Go master effects. Here's with the chow tape added. He has, there's some presets over here that are interesting. There's a rhythmic, which, right? There's also things like chords and wobble. If you set it to chord, and we set this to be like some sort of a sound, respace, yeah, that'd be really cool. Let's go back to just waveforms so we are safe. Now it's playing chords. I'm playing one note. And it makes a chord, which is cool. So there's all sorts of places to use this. It's an effect that just opens up the door to experimenting and trying weird things. And so I think you guys are gonna really dig it. It kind of gives us some of that like crazy long hair side to Unified. You know, what if you have 8 taps? All you do is hold down, click the tap you want and click shift and click again, and you're adding taps. And I don't know what the limits are. I haven't reached them. Different color groups. Now play for like, I don't know how long. But then if you hold down shift and change one of these, you're changing all of them. So you can put low pass filtering on so it brings down the frequency of each tap. Which is cool. High pass filtering will, of course, lose low energy. Add distortion. It's all sorts of just fun stuff. So holding down shift will let you add distortion to all of these taps at once. So now it's filtering out and it's adding distortion at the same time. So those 2 effects are coming in 1.4, which is really exciting. Other things that we're doing, let's show you the Spitfire Labs for a minute, because there's a couple patches in here. So Spitfire Labs is a free plugin available from Spitfire Audio. Here it is. And it has a very simple interface. If you actually look under the hood, you'll see that, oh, if I go here and say Instrument Labs, you have access to other parameters. And a lot of them they aren't hooked up. I wish that they were all hooked up automatically to everything, but it's kind of an arbitrary decision they made as to whether something is hooked up or not. It's kind of strange, but they are there. You can click here to access these different libraries. All of these libraries that you see, Granular Whale Song, London Atmos, These are different libraries you can download for free. If you get the Spitfire audio application and then you have Labs, even though it says install, they're installed, I've installed everything. But all of these are free libraries. It's just insane. Pipe organ was just added, and so we've added patches for that. Their interface is a little funky. You click here to turn on filtering. If you say clear, then it just goes down the list of all of them. So this is kind of a challenging interface. I think it's a lot easier to see it right here and go soft piano. I know where that's at. It's right down here. And this is the famous soft piano that's been used in tons of films and everywhere, right? So it's... And the sound quality is awesome. The types of sounds are great. The drum kit, here's the pipe organ, the full organ. Right? So I'm gonna go down here to the bonus. I have an organ category, so we type O-R-G-A-N. We have down here, this is a split register. This is one of the patches that was added like in the last hour from Bram van der Mark. And this is really cool because it shows a couple things. For one thing, I have access to the different volumes, but check this out. Let me see if this is working. I'm supposed to have this up and running. Yes. So I have, let's see if I zoom in on this. Let's see, just the webcam. And if I zoom this in even more, get me out of the way. Check this out. So this is my little Korg Nano control. And you see how it's got little R buttons that are all lit up. Then there's an M button, which is for mute. And if I push this, look on the screen, I am now able to, by MIDI, send MIDI controllers to mute. I can solo. So I can say, and I have the volume slider right here for number 2. If I turn off solo, oh, I'm not showing Unify at the same time. Okay, let's say webcam and desktop. So let's go like this. Zoom this up and then get this in the corner so you can see. So watch what I'm going to be doing here. This is pretty cool. So you've got the controls here. I can get this a little bit better. Let's see, up like this. So you can see the 4 different registers, right? So I'm soloed, turn off solo, and it turns off solo on the other parts. They immediately pop up. However, these record buttons are set up for a special thing. They're set up to actually, when I push this number 4, see how it grays out? We now have, even on the master, a bypass so that you can bypass the effects and it goes gray. When it's grayed out, they don't play, so it's the same as mute. But what's cool with this, let's get these guys to be louder, is I can turn those on, turn the others off. Even while holding notes, I can say off. Next time I can take my hands off. I can even change the volume of something that's going to be muted, and it will change the volume. So any of you guys doing live stuff, this is wonderful. Let's say I want to add a piano to this. So I'd go Spitfire, the whole factory library, say keyboard. Let's say we want to add this, add to a new Unify layer. So now I have a piano. If I hit the control for 6, it's off. And let's say I want to add the choir, because Labs has this choir. So we can go like this and say CHOIR. Oh, I can't spell. There we go. Right click, add to a new Unify layer, right? You can have up to 8 layers with the nano control, because it has 8 controls here to work with. And if they're all on, then they all play. If I turn these off, just the choir. So just the piano. I want to add voice. And then for this last chord, I want to have everything. So now that the live performance and what you could do with all sorts of things like this just goes off the scale. Oh, wait, that's scary. Eee! Hi. Put me back in my corner. Get up there. Be a good little Skippy in your corner. So that ability to work any MIDI controller, we have a system setup in place. It requires a little bit of programming, scripting on the part of, we can set this up for, let me show you what we do. Inside of the Unify folder, there's a folder that says MIDI controller files. And inside of here, we have instructions as to what MIDI CCs are doing what parameters. And there's instructions up here for the specific way that you use the language to do this, but we can MIDI enable, mute, solo, auxiliary sends, and mix levels are all available for me to control from within my simple little $80 nano control. And then here is the actual data from the nano control. We include this when you get the install. So if you have a nano control, all you have to do is go Korg, Korg control editor, right? Say, yes, I have the nano control. And then you would go up here to save file, open. And then do you want to save changes? No, it's going to be the same settings, but now here's this nano control setting value. And I have 2. I have one where I have MIDI CC and 11 set for the knobs for when I'm doing Discover Station, Core Station. And then this one here, which is called the Unify Mix Enable Open. And that assigns everything automatically up to sync up to the document that Shane created. And then all I have to do is go communication. Can you see? Oh, you can't see this. So if I go up here to communication, why doesn't it show that on my desktop? Anyway, at the very top menu is a communication. You say write scene data, and that will write it to your nano control. So that way when you quit this software and you close this, it's still, now it's working. And it just works. So we have this way for controlling layers, but we have other ways that I want to show you too. And this is another cool thing that's really exciting with Unify 1.4. So if we go Core Station, let's say strings are, let's see, what did I get here? Oh, these are string elements, strings. So I'm gonna go down here to, actually, let's see, STR should get me just to these elements. I wanna get to the string elements, not the BPM, but here, all of the ensembles. So I'm going to load the long to start, because we can now change layers with a knob or a MIDI CC, so you can sequence it. And I'm gonna show you that. So what I'm gonna do, this is kind of like key switching, where you use keys on the keyboard. It'll take a minute to load. I also want to load, let's say, the staccato is lovely. So let's say load that to it. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna hold down Option. So it's just down to one layer. And then I'm gonna load the ensemble long as a unified layer. So it's just a single thing. Hold down Option and delete that first layer. So I just have one layer that equals that unified patch. And inside of here are all of the unified layers that make that patch up. This is what's so fun with Unify, is we're playing all of these 5 patches windowed to be maxed so that it sounds really nice as you go up the keyboard, from the basses to the violas to the violins. You don't need to make 5 sequence tracks to do this. You can play it in real time. Sounds beautiful. Turn it down just a little bit, but I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna say staccato, add that to a Unify layer, and I'm gonna say tremolo. Well, let's do this. Let's go maybe the sol point, and then we'll end with pizzicato. So we have 4 different layers. We don't want to play them all at once. We want to be able to cycle between them. So you go to layers, MIDI effects, polybox, 4 layers, because I have 4 layers. And each one of these, I could have done this more smoothly, but I'm just going to down the list and click each one and change it so that it's listening to polybox, because polybox is going to become my conductor, right? And then MIDI channel, this is MIDI channel 1, MIDI channel 2, MIDI channel 3, MIDI channel 4. So I now have all 4 layers on 4 different MIDI channels. Go to Polybox, and here's the magic sauce. Right here where it says mode. Mono is what we've had in the past. Chords, chord with auto retrigger. Then here's our new modes. Knob, and then TC 126. So if I say knob, then that means I need to go to this knob. For example, let's say this is going to be layer select. And let's option click to open it. We're going to get rid of master volume. That's not really going to be that useful right now. Click right here, go to MIDI, Polybox, channel. 1 parameter, but boy is it a nice parameter, because now by setting it to min to max, you can change what you want it to be for the next notes. It doesn't do anything weird. So if something is sustaining in the soft, say these guys are sustaining, right? You're playing a part. And then you want to go to the full. And then you want to go staccato. Boom. And you can set it to MIDI CC 126, and now you can automate sequencing that in your DAW. So not only can you play all 5 instruments at once, now you can get a set of up to 24, well, no, 16, because 16 is the maximum limit of MIDI channels in one Unify that it can talk to, but 16 different sounds can be switched between with the knob in real time. And it's done smart. We've worked really hard to make so that if you play notes and it's sustaining, oh. You know, if you change to something else, it's watching those notes, sustain pedals on. I can go, just letting up the sustain pedal will stop the other notes in my notes on the new layers. So it's super, super fun to play with. Works really well. Please show the keyboard. Oh, okay. I see that. Go like that. By the way, there's a video. I don't have it, but Daniela, that video you showed, I've been talking with Daniela on some things, and she shared a video of an improvising chord. I'll show that to you in a minute. It's really cool. But we have the other big thing that I can't show you right now, but I hope to show you in the not too distant, like next week. Even though I have to go buy it, darn it. But I'm trying to get a hold of Avid. They have been busy and not replying. But we have AAX. We have people testing it and working. If you work with AAX and you own Unify, send us a note and I'll send you the AAX version to play with, because I want as many people as I can to play with it before we let it out, the better. But everybody that we've had work with it is having fun getting their audio unit, VST, VST3 plugins are now able to be loaded into Pro Tools sessions and saved into your songs, and everything syncs up and all your plugins are there now to work with and save in a Pro Tools song. So it's lovely as far as all of that stuff goes. I saw the comment and I'll look into it to make sure that the version of the BBC Discovers library, it contains the Contact 6 because it's supposed to. I'm not going to check that right now because we're in a live stream, but I will make sure that it's all there, because that is definitely something that is supposed to be there and support. How did I do it? Was it, let me see real quick. If I go over here to this, let me just check something really quick. Yeah, it's the file you need to download is called BBC SCO, which is the BBC Symphony Orchestra _Unify_4 libraries. That will be .zip. That file is the download file that you need to get from your account. Log into pluginguru.com. If you have an old cache in your that browser, then hold down Option and reload, or use a different web browser, and then maybe it will show you something that's there, but the cache is hiding it and just loading up from memory, and so it doesn't have the updated version. But it's been this way for a long time, that all 4 libraries are included with Discover Station. So please check that out. Want all the ARPs and bass off. Now we do have a stop button right here for stopping all ARPs, all things that are playing. That's kind of the global stop button. So that's one thing that I see someone talking about. Right, yeah, that's a good idea, is to make embedded Unify, because I could take this whole set now and save this as a single patch if I wanted to in Unify. It's crazy what we can do with that stuff. So I think that's a lot. Let me see. I actually popped up the change log. I wanted to go down the list, see if there's anything else that I was missing. We've revamped MIDI box. It's far more reliable. It can do things where if you want it to play from a certain measure, it's consistent and it works like it's supposed to. It's wonderful. It's so nice. So I can't wait to get this update to you. We are aiming at Thursday for the update. Friday is when we're going to be releasing UniChill. This is a wonderful, wonderful, cool library of all sorts of electronic, not just for chill, but you'll notice there's definitely a lot of stuff that's these. And because it's Unify, and this is a library that only needs Unify, it doesn't need anything else. These patches load fast. There's all of these different song starting ideas. They're just beautiful. Some of these I'm still working on, so that's when I'll definitely pump up a little bit. Cool rhythm ideas. I mean, there's so much fun stuff. On top of this, really cool. Cool basses. Get to the BPM bass patches. And of course you can right click and add a cool chord. Now in a case like this, I would right click on these BPM bass parts and stop them at B so that they don't play high, and right? So they all play really nice together. There's chords, there's BPM keys. Just ready for pop into your production, right? And again, you can right click to add other patches. There's all these pads, all these synths. And again, I could just turn off parts because I have those controls now to. So that's kind of my weird one, so we'll hide that one for the next. So the ability to select the parts and turn them off is really nice. And then there's all sorts of just really cool so it's rhythmic ideas, and then look at all of these. Really usable, straight ahead, simple. So this is a very exciting, just usable stuff for this genre of music. These are all made by a guy named Matthias Sauer. He lives in Germany. He is a chill artist. He's released a whole bunch of singles in the genre. So They're made for his music. So he also writes magazine reviews and stuff. Really nice person. Plucks. Look at all the plucks. I mean, and we have real-time control set up, so you have access to the effects. Sample start. So there's flexibility in every patch you call up. Right? So it goes all over the place. Really nice. So this will be coming out on Friday. Thursday is 1.4 update, and then Friday I'll release this library. It will require updating to Unify 1.4. A lot of these BPM patches, I'm using Chow tape model. Here it is without it. I'll be quiet for a minute. It's subtle, but it is different. UniChill will be $39 retail, so we'll have an introduction price, probably 10 to 15% off. Let me see, reveal in the Finder. It's 209 patches. It'll probably be 210 when we're done, so it's a lot. And now if I want to make this even more tape, I could add more saturation, more drive. If you change the speed of the tape, listen to the difference. 30 is bright, and I'll take it to 3.75, which will be warmer, but a little bit darker. Hear the difference? And there's degrade if you wanted to add actual noise. You can go over here to the filters. This is an older recording, so back then they didn't record with such good high fidelity. Go to tone, and you could actually add a little more saturation. And then you can go between it. There's your perfect with nothing process. To fully process or somewhere in between. Right? So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. So you'll need to have 1.4. I'll probably be using some of the syncing LFOs and so forth. Notice the tape hiss just remains. Let's see here. I have somebody. Does Unify have a synthwave sound library? I remember you mentioned a Vital sound bank coming out. Yes, we're working on that. That would probably be April. April probably is what we're looking at. I wanted to, there's Tim Dale's library is next, and then probably the Vital library will be after that. And it's a crazy library because we're putting new drum kits, tons of drum grooves. That's more for the harder side of EDM, not the chill side. So UniChill is all about chill know, put this, and then go down here to the keys and find something that's it's maybe a BPM key, let's say. So let's say, what I like with this is you can say high groove, Unify layer, right click, and you can now jag really easy to set this to be where you want it to be. C3. I'll make some templates, because if everything is like this in a Unify layer, what's fun is you can open up that Unify layer, open up the browser, and it shows you the patch you can change. Right? I could add these two together to say right click, add to Unify layer. So now it's added a Unify layer inside of a Unify layer. Right? So it's so fun. And again, you can just keep adding layers and layers. Right? And then on top of this, go back to the main layer, go to Cloud City, which is right now, I'm gonna make some drum grooves, but I don't have new drum kits for UniChill. So Cloud City is great for this because there's all of these drum grooves. We could say, load this into a new groove. And again, it's a Unify layer, so I can double click, open the browser, say, that wasn't the right groove. How about this one? There you go. Got the sun out. And on top of this, I want to go to the BPM bells and add one of the little tongue drum rhythmic things I did. So go to here, say, add this to Unify layer. If I want to hear what it is, even with the BPM parts playing by MIDI files, they still play until you let up. So for remixes and get down, let's say I go, oh, I want to go back to the keys. So fun to play with, to have controls to where you can keep your hands on the keys, but go, oh, I want these on or off. And let's play for a minute, because we have all these new things inside of here, so we could go, what's doing this? Let's figure out what's going on. So this is MIDI 1, MIDI box is sending a sine wave MIDI CC. That's how it's getting the filter to change. It's doing that. So on top of this, let's go notes, 8th note, and let's go custom. And let's do this. I'm gonna load a preset that gives me numbered pulses, say 4 down, and then I can change my rate. And now I can change the curvature. If you hold down Option on our graphs, you can change the level without moving it in time. There. So if we add that, boom, more rhythm. And let's say we want to go back to the drums. I'm ready to add something more fun to this, so I'm gonna go to the hip skit, every day. So it's so fun now to play and be creative with all these elements that we have access to. It's just nuts. Very, very fun. All right, so let me show you real quickly before we say goodbye, because we're almost out of time, Spitfire Labs. It has been unified, and a whole bunch of you have made patches. Thank you to all of you that contributed. It's really wonderful. We'll do this. We'll pick out other synthesizers that we want to play with, maybe other synths that have already been unified, and say, let's spend 2 weeks, play with the factory patches or make your own patches. We have to be really, really, really careful. You can't use third-party patches. We don't want to use somebody else's patches that they make any money with, right? I remember you mentioned the, okay, so we're good there, good there. So anyway, there is so much fun stuff here to show you. My gosh, I don't even know where to start. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of patches. So this is taking all those Spitfire Lab libraries that I showed you and using them in different cool, creative, fun ways that are I want you to know, last night at 2 in the morning, I went through all my patches and added artwork. I wanted it to have the artwork for the images. A couple of these use, in fact, I posted as a photo today in the newsletter. I'll show that to you. Where is it? This is a photo from a couple years ago here in the Columbia River Gorge area. Balsam root is just now starting to show up. So it's about time to go out and take some pictures, which you can't wait for. This is another pretty morning in Central Oregon. And I had another image that I used for one of the photos of Mount Hood, sunrise over the tulips. They charge a lot of money now for you to go take pictures of tulips in the morning. It's like $30 to get in or something like that. So now, I told you about this chord groove. Let me see. Have this go away. Let's see. Get show MIDI to show up again. Where did that go? Go here. There we go. So check this out. If you guys want a cool, I'm going to go to the keyboard and transpose it up an octave. This combination is really nice. So we can start the drum groove up. This is the chill get down. If I say 0, there's this groove. So this is 2 chords. Let's see if I transpose this up. Let's see if I play from the top down. Let's see if this shows it as well. Herbie knows beginner stuff for chords, but it's nice. They're nice chords to work with because you can play pretty much anything and sound great. So practice these chords. If you want a chord to practice, I thought I might do some more work in future videos on technique. My technique is not great, but for some voicings and stuff I can help out. So practice these. It's just a C major 7. I think this is like a D minor. It's just stretched so that that's the normal C major 7, but you bring it down, B, so you're playing it here. And you can switch between the 9 if you want. try those chords if you want some fun chords to play with and jam with. That's one place to start if you want. Okay. Other things, there's so much in this library. I don't even know where to start. My gosh, a couple of the guys that where's MB? Some of his patches were really inspiring to me. Swells and soft piano. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I forgot to restore it. Thank you. So go back to this. Get my face out of the way. Hey. Let's see. Make sure I'm zooming at the right perspective. There. There. So this is Swells and Soft Piano in London. So that's nice. There's so many people that did such great work. I don't want to like spend too much time focusing on them. Cello Madness is really, really cool. Takes a minute to load everything up, but I love this one. There's a BPM guitar patch that's really clever. You guys are very clever, I must tell you. There's so much in here to study from, to learn from. So BPM, guitar. Oh, did I do it as a pluck? I might have done it as a pluck. Let's see. No? Is this the one that's split for... I'm not gonna find it. Oh, darn it. Oh, let me see. It's really cool because it's using a whole bunch of different blue arps to do all the different techniques of guitar. Oh, here we go. Let's see. It's not D in space. Oh, this is really lovely. Guitars and plucks and I'm not gonna find it. There's so many great ideas in here though. Some of you guys got really carried away. Let me just go down the list for a second. It's not this, it's not dance. Sparkling piano, Arctic Echoes, Big City. Deep, Uneases, Equatorial. I don't think that's it. Oh my gosh, I should have written down. Lost in the Oberstream. This is one we did last week, the final version. Came out great. New artwork I put into it. Oh my gosh. Suspense is killing me. So many fun patches. Cocktails at the beach. Very fun, just get a groove going. Oh, I wish I could find, has anybody come across the one and put it into the comments of the patch? So let's see what our questions are. When you first install Labs final library, do you need to erase? Yes, I would suggest erasing the earlier one just to make sure. And the final, so go over here to settings and go to the data folder and hit open. And then you can open up libraries and say Spitfire Labs, delete, right? So it's no longer there. Go back to Unify refresh the browser so that it has a chance to refresh and go, oh, that library is missing, and then drag in the final version of the library, okay? And that way you make sure that you don't, what will happen is we replace stuff that has the existing same name, but there's a lot of cases where I put in patches and so forth that have altered names. Because I went through and I tried to clean up a lot of the stuff in the file directory itself, because our system, you can have a different name for the patch than you have for the, let's see here. There's so many that you guys did. They're just wonderful. The trumpets were a big hit. Lots of cool patches using the brass. It's not glassy ambiances. No, it's not that, It's not dancing on Plucky Moon. That's what I did, right? So that's not, yeah, that's not it. I love the thunder stick drum. Cool job, Dirk. Oh, here it is. A Night is Dancing, of course. It's one of the first patches. So check this out. It's using the mandolin patch, or the charango. These guys are set to do a blue arp that's set to play at 64th note resolution. Only on the very first page, if you go here, change your pages. It's actually really cool if you make it like that. Isn't that cool? Very nice, Dirk. Very great. And then with drums, need to get a jig set of samples. But there's so many cool patches just all over the place. Fun things you guys came up with. So I hope you guys enjoyed the chance to play with the library. I find things like this are a great way to learn the plugins and the samples in the library that you can work with now in your productions, because you spent time with them. You know, oh, that's right, they have this really cool pad, really cool granular stuff in Labs that you might not have known about. So it's a fun chance. And then it's really nice you guys were cool to share them with everybody so everybody gets the benefit. Will there be more patches added to this? No, I don't think so. I added some this morning that Bram had sent me that I just, in the time of, like, there's 20 people here working, they just slipped in the cracks and I didn't add them to the library. So I added those this morning to the library. So I think we're probably where we're gonna stop for but there's so many keys, all these different things. Piano padding. Even though it's just two parts, just the fact somebody went and found two sounds that work nice together. Is just great. Great. It's helpful for everybody to have little things to choose from. Oh, stereo buddies. I found a picture of a man and a dog holding hands. I thought it was very cute. So that was there. Because this is kind of the bonus of what Unify gives us is the chance to do more with our plugins. So this is taking Spitfire Labs and turning it into a multi-instrument with combination mode where you can play up patches and have these killer things to play with. I did kind of a Halloween theme for the artwork on the Darkness series. There's also Darkness Won't See Me, which you can then bring this up. Right? So you can play with that kind of stuff. Magical Orchestral Cavern. You know, you never know where one of these are going to be the magical thing that fits your track. So get the Spitfire Labs plugin, download their libraries. The patches tell you what libraries you need to include. I don't know which ones maybe we should look at our list and try to make a database saying these are the plugins that we actually used. Good. White Shade, that's nice. I'm glad it was a good thing. We will do it again. Yeah, it's just fun. I mean, you know, all of these libraries are there. You can make this. And, you know, if you were composing and you spent time and you found 5 sounds that worked, but to be able to save it so you can call it up anytime, where I can make it something you guys can have access to, is great. There's some really cool string things here. Make sure you check these all out. Chris did a good job of combining some of the things that just played limited range. Now they play the whole keyboard, play more of the keyboard. Yeah, and then it's fun to add someone saying you could take something like this. This is something you can do at any time with any of these. That's why all the unified libraries are so fun. Start with something and then look around to see what else you can add to it. Since it's kind of a pad, go to the pads in the standard library. What would a pan flute pad sound like with this? And ooh. You just changed the personality of the sound. You know, then go over here and say I want to add Pump House. And I wanted to do some sort of a cool rhythmic preset, so rhythmic pulses. And now we can have Pump House working while Guru Sampler's LFO is doing something else. We could say note, BPM, let's say half note, custom, because we're going to play around a little bit. Let's have it playing with the filter. Since Pump House on an audio channel is doing volume, now we can play a filter at the same time. So and they're all synced. Super, super tight. I mean, the timing is wonderful. Just to have a little motion, just bring it down soft. You know, there's all sorts of places we plan to go. I'm just happy we're clearly showing that we're going to another step up in the list of what we can do. So thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out. Very fun. So that's our plans. Any questions? Oh, good. I'm glad you guys are excited. I like seeing wows. on my own private island. Yes, so Unify 1.4, the update will be coming Thursday. We will send out, make sure you're subscribed to the Plugin Guru Pad King. Can you show us how to save that to a library? Sure. So, okay, so I've made something, altered it. I want to save this. So you just hit save, and you can come up here and choose your name. It depends on how you want to do your name. You don't have to do the system that I use, but since I'm using something that has tempo, even if it's kind of subtle, it still is going to sync to clock. So I always put a BPM at the start, even if nothing else, just so I know that it's syncing. And I could say string and pan, pad. And then the important thing right here is to choose what library you want to save it to. You can save it anywhere you want, but it might be good to say new library. Give the library your own name. Who over here? Pad King asked this question. So Pad King New Frontiers. Right? So confirm. Since this isn't Chris, your name's Pad King, so Pad King, the original. And then go save as instead of update. If you hit update, it's gonna update this patch here, and you don't wanna do that. So save as is because I wanna save this as something new, and it has already made a Pad King New Frontiers folder and a patches folder, and when I hit save, boom, it's now into the Pad King folder. And I go right here. Do I see Pad King? Right here, Pad King New Frontiers. There it is. So I can choose it. And it's there. Right? And if I put a heart onto this, then I can be looking at all my libraries. And when I hit heart, oh, I have a heart. Oh, we might have to check that. Oh, there it goes. It just needed a second to go, hey, it will show hearts. I only have one patch that has a favorite, and it's my BPM pad and string pad, right? So hopefully that helps. Okay? So that's how you save the patch. What Frankenmeyers say, I've got to back up here a little bit. It made Shane's days, so I gotta see what that is. Shout out. Oh, cool. Frankenmeiser, that's great. Yeah, it's really fun that this is, you know, it's an open door to go to your plugin list and go, oh, I haven't played with this one in a long time. Add something else to your favorites. Or what's really fun, go over here to the set, go to instruments, maybe say, maybe a new subset, and click the subset and like rarely used. And then go down, oh, I probably have to rename and rarely return. There. Select this and then go down your list and find plugins that you don't use and maybe put those into the rarely used folder so that you can go, I'm feeling like diving somewhere unique. And that way you would now see how rarely used doesn't show anything. I'm going to go back to subsets, click rarely used. So it says rarely used over here in the subset list on instruments. And let's say I rarely use Ace. I rarely use acoustic from Sample Sun. That was on sale and I bought it, you know, for $29. And I want to go up here and say inst. So that way it only shows me instruments instead of instruments and audio effects. I don't want to see audio effects. DCO, I just got that. Oh, I need to go back here and Cataract from Glitch Machines is really cool. And I said, because I put in the thing up here, it got rid of my selections. Ace. So if I say add selected, it will add whatever I've held down Command to select different things. I could say Bolt. That's one from Nectar that I got a while ago. Let's see. I use digits from time to time. Thorn is another one that's really great. I don't use very often. So just hit the save button. And now when I go to this list, let's say init, click the little dot right here, and here's rarely used, and I've added these plugins, and Thorn is great. I love Airwave. Turned me on to Dimitri Sach's plugins a while ago. They're available now through the Plugin Alliance, but this is A, it sounds killer, and B, when you get to some of the sequence things, it is just off the scale because it has all these that can do to the sound by this grid editor where you've got low pass, high pass. If you click different things, you're choosing filtering, gating, all this stuff is going on to the sound. So really, really cool synth. So if you don't know about Thorn, that's one I don't use enough that I really like. So that's kind of a fun way to go, oh, use that in a track. And all of a sudden you're hearing new sounds because it's not like it's rarely used. Maybe it has some unique sounds in it for you, right? Okay. I've gone over again by 30 minutes. Oh, shame on me. The union's gonna get mad at me or something like that. Now, it's good to hang with you guys. All right. But thank you for joining. Let's do our shout outs real quick. Shout out from Portland, Oregon. Slow mode is on me for me. Yeah, Chow Matrix. Over here, Lush. Have this whole delay network. Switzerland. Cool, cool, cool. California, Quebec, Dublin, Anto, good to see you. Rob, good to see you. Guys, thanks for contributing. Some of those names I recognize. Trash Can, good, my friend, good to see you. Chris, in the UK. Some more other people from the UK, New Jersey, Colorado, Holland. It's worldwide. I love it. Ivar in Norway, good to see you all. Thank you for joining. It's awesome, awesome. Okay, well, get ready for Thursday. We're really excited. I think it's maybe, each of our updates have added some significant things that open up new capabilities. And so I can't say it's our biggest because they're all pretty significant, but I'm really excited with what this is gonna add to our stew that we're building, our house that we're building, right? So thank you all. Be safe, be healthy, be creative, play with Unify nonstop. That's all good. And we'll see you next week, okay? Cheers.